Hello, and welcome to the Ganru Show. I'm Golda.
And I'm Ganru.
And this is a podcast that's just like catching up with your two best girlfriends.
We'll give it to you straight and not hold back. It's like catching up with the girls for drinks without that nasty hangover.
Or going out to brunch without the carbs and the annoyingly long lines.
In today's episode, we will give advice to our younger selves.
Moisturizer.
Sunscreen.
Just oils.
Just lather your body in all kinds of moisturizing emollients.
So let's get started. First up, we're going to talk about the best thing that we heard this week. Ganru, what's your best thing?
Well, I'm sure you and people at home might be wondering what happened to the two African-American men who were arrested at the Starbucks, and I have an update.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so they settled with the city of Philadelphia. I don't know why they settled with the city of Philadelphia, because shouldn't they settle with Starbucks? But anyways, according to this one news source that I looked up right before the segment, like literally I just Googled it. This is the one source I read. They settled for $1 each, but the city will donate $200,000 to youth entrepreneurs.
Oh,
Isn't that cool?
that's really nice.
So their total settlement is probably $201,000 or $202,000, but they're going to give $200,000 so that young entrepreneurs can open their own coffee shops.
That's great. Now, just to remind everybody, can you just summarize what happened to them exactly?
So I guess these two young men, Rashawn Nelson and Dante Robinson, were just chilling out at a Starbucks, much like,
Yeah, much like people do.
like if I was waiting for Golda, and then it would be as if I didn't want to order my coffee because Golda's not there yet, right?
So they were just hanging around waiting.
Exactly. And then they go up to the counter and they said, could we get a restroom key? Which is something that I would do as well because
you're drinking liquids.
right. I mean, just
You're
even
gonna want to go to the bathroom.
even driving 20 minutes in a car, I always have to pee wherever I end up going, right?
Yeah, it's a natural thing.
And then the manager said, you cannot pee, you can't get the code, you can't get the key until you make a purchase. And then he went back and sat down, and then somehow the manager called the police and said these two young men aren't going to make a purchase and they're just loitering.
That's dumb. Then that would mean that people who go to Target would all be arrested because
Absolutely.
not everybody at Target
Makes a
buys
purchase.
something.
Mm-mm.
Sometimes you're just looking around.
It's very hard not to buy something at a Target. I think they realize this, but you can walk into a Target and not buy anything.
Or buy something that you thought that you weren't going in there to buy.
Absolutely.
So
But no joke, I've run into a Target to use the restroom straight up
without buying anything.
and then walked right out. It
Were
was
you
hard.
arrested?
No, I wasn't.
See? What's up with that? Starbucks.
It was very, very hard because that $1 section at Target, oh my God.
It's right in the front.
It's right next to the restroom. They know. They entrap you. They entrap you. You're like running the restroom. You're like, oh, what's that? What's that? $1?
It's a notepad with a magnet in the back. I need one of those.
I'm going to come back for you. I'm going to come back for you. But anyway, so it was a nice outcome,
Yes.
even though it was an unfortunate event. Best thing I heard this week. What about you, Golda?
Wonderful. Well, I read just now.
Also, with one
Also,
Google search.
Yes, about Stephen Hawking. May he rest in peace. He had a final paper. And the topic of this final paper was very interesting to me. It is aiming to test a theory that proposes parallel universes. And basically, the proposal implies that there are multiverses and that they are infinite with endless, uncountable parallel universes existing alongside our own. So this
Wow.
to me sounded like a Star Trek episode where, as we are right now just recording this and talking to each other, there are other universes like the one that we're in now. Not just one. See, because in like movies and Star Trek, it's always the one that you're in and then maybe one more where you're doing something different. But what Stephen Hawking said in this paper was that there are multiple parallel universes going on right now
Multiple
Isn't that
parallel.
just blow your mind?
Okay, so just give me the layman's, just succinct Golda layman's version of the Stephen Hawking thesis.
So basically, if you would imagine a string, right? Let's just imagine a laundry line, right? So you've got one end of the laundry line and then another end of the laundry line, and they're connected by 2 points,
Okay.
right? Imagine right underneath that primary laundry line, there's another line right underneath it.
This is totally not where I thought you were going. I thought we were like gonna be those little pins. Okay, I'm ruining
No,
your
it's
analogy.
the line. So
Okay,
the little
okay.
twine thing, right, for the laundry line.
Okay.
So there's one primary one, and then imagine one right underneath it, right parallel to it.
Okay.
And then underneath that, there's like a million more of the same sequence. That's what multiverses is. That's what he's saying. So if let's just say right now,
Okay, so what connects all the laundry lines?
gravity? Gravity? I don't know. You're the scientist.
No, because you're the one that told me that there's multiverses and we exist on all these laundry lines, which is great.
Yes.
But how do the laundry line? Is there a sheet that lays on top of all of them? Whoa.
Maybe.
Whoa, that's deep.
I did not read the entire paper. I only saw the bullet points. That said, can you imagine having multiple versions of ourselves out there doing other things? Like right now
Amazing.
we're recording, right? We're doing
Right.
this podcast. But what are our parallel universes selves doing? What would yours be doing, you think? What would you imagine?
I have a feeling that let's say there's 10 multiverses, although there could be infinite.
Yes. Let's just say 10
Let's just say 10.
for now.
9.5 of my multiverses, I will probably be eating something.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Highly likely eating.
Okay.
What about your multiverse self?
My multiverse self, I think I'd probably say that I'd be driving.
Yes.
I'd probably be driving somewhere right now.
How many of your...
It's not a very exciting multiverse, is it?
It's not.
I mean, why don't I say something like, I would be queen of Sweden.
Ooh.
And looking like this. So I'd be like the Meghan Markle of Sweden.
You're the only colored person in Sweden.
Yeah.
Anybody, everyone's pasty white, and you're the only person with any melanin in your skin.
Yes, that's right. And then my hair would be different, of course. I'd probably part it to the right.
Exactly, right. So
In the other universe.
in the other universe, your
Yes.
hair parts the other way. That's the most significant thing that the paper touched upon is hair parts.
You know what I find really interesting is that neither of us said that we would like cure diseases or, do stuff like that. It's about other
be
things.
honest.
I mean, come on.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the most
Okay.
interesting thing that I heard this week is that someone as credible as a Stephen Hawking in his final paper. Can you imagine? This guy knew he was going to kick the bucket.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what he leaves you with.
Amazing.
Is that there are multiple universes
of
out
which
there.
you're doing nothing important in any of them.
Remains to be seen, but
Yeah.
we'll never know, will we?
Yeah. Very
MIT.
interesting thing. Very interesting.
MIT, get on it.
Thanks for sharing. That was very interesting. Best thing we heard this week.
Best thing we heard this week.
Now for our main segment. I'm really excited to bring this topic to the table today. It's advice we would give to our younger selves. Man, if I could only go back in time and just kind of drop a couple nuggets of wisdom on myself, I feel like life would have been so much easier, right?
Yeah. What would you advise yourself?
Okay. So I have 3 little main things I probably would say to myself. And this applies to, I think, any young person, any
Okay.
person growing up today, teenagers or young people or people my age that are still struggling. I would say, number 1, no one cares about you. Now, that sounds harsh. But back up.
Everybody cares about me. I mean, you. You.
Who? Me?
Yeah.
Me? Everyone cares about me?
Yeah.
Well, see, this is where it gets really zen. The reason why people in life treat me well and care about me is because I don't care about myself. Now, let me explain. This sounds contradictory. But what it means is when you're growing up as a teenager, you are so self-conscious. You feel like the spotlight of the world is on you. and that everyone is either scrutinizing you or judging you or whatever. But you know what? No one really is, because people are so self-absorbed and in their own world. So if you go through life going, you know what? No one's really watching me. No one cares. And you feel free to speak the way you want and to engage in the way that's natural to you, people gravitate towards that. They gravitate
Yeah,
towards
and
people
authentic.
who are like natural. That's what I mean by no one cares about you. Not that you're a piece of trash on the side of the road, okay? It means that no one is really scrutinizing you as much as you think that they are.
You're bigger
Okay.
in your mind than you really are to other people.
Absolutely, yes. So just make it a non-issue. You are just floating through the world. That's the number one. And then to counterbalance that, I would say care about other people more, meaning give your attention, your focus to other people, and you'll be surprised at how, first of all, it solves problem number one, which is if you're always like worried, like, what am I going to say? Do I look stupid? If you look at the other person and say, how are you? What's going on with you? And you engage with them, it just solves problem number one. And it's like this feedback loop, because when you start focusing on other people, they start liking you, you start feeling good about yourself, you know, act authentically, you start, you know, it's like a good feedback loop. So
And does that work for you now?
I don't know. I
You don't know.
don't know.
Why are you giving this advice?
I think this is like
This is like not Glamour magazine. This is like for real. This is our tagline.
what
We're going to give it to you like it is.
I can't just spew stuff out that
No,
I think
this is not
sounds
BuzzFeed.
good. This sounds good to me. This sounds
That
good.
sounds good too. It sounds good. So what you're saying is to be better or pay attention to other people, be good to other people more than to yourself?
See, that sounds bad, right?
Because I don't want to pay attention to people more than myself. I'm a number one. That's just the way it is.
But don't you think that could go down?
Holla.
Don't you think that could go down a bad route where it's like, it's all about me. Let me pay attention to myself. It's about me all the time.
I see
one
nothing
likes
wrong with that. I think it's good to always pay attention to yourself and look at yourself, and you are number one. Because guess what? If you treat yourself like you are the most important person in the universe,
Like the Queen of Sweden.
like the Queen of Sweden
Okay.
would in
Okay.
another universe, then other people are going to be like, hey, that girl over there looks like she's got it together.
She's a queen.
Yes.
And let
See
me just no, because
how it's all connected?
what happens is you're gonna feel very isolated. And ultimately you won't be happy. Because what people are dying for, whether you're a teenager or you're 65, is you're dying for connection. So how do you get that connection with somebody? Well, you just focus on them. And then what happens is what they give you will hopefully feed your soul and make you more. I have to
Man,
work
you have a lot of faith in people. Let me tell you. I've met a lot of really boring people in my
I
lifetime.
agree with you.
Right?
Actually, I agree
And
with
are
you.
you
on
saying
this.
that I need to pay attention to these boring people?
No, you don't, because some people are extremely boring.
Yeah.
And some people are extremely negative, which is a topic for a whole nother podcast.
Yes.
I'm really excited to bring you that topic. But back to this.
No, I see your point, though. I see your point. And you had another one, right? A third one?
Yeah. Okay. So basically, if I were to revise it, because now I realize that Golda is, because I'm paying attention to Golda.
Don't let me influence you.
Oh, no. No.
I'm just saying stuff out
You're
loud.
the Queen of Sweden. I have to pay attention to what you're saying.
Isn't that where ABBA's from?
That sounds. So that's
Sweden, right?
correct.
I don't know.
I think that sounds
Maybe
right.
I would have been in ABBA in another life,
In a multiverse.
in my multiverse.
You were each one of those members of ABBA, so you could actually harmonize. Yeah, they do that layering of the sound. You
I'd
could
be the blonde girl. Are they both?
What they pull? Okay.
I don't know.
All right. So
Anyway.
let me rephrase it because Golda's making me question
Yes,
myself.
sorry.
Which is
Not sorry.
don't be so self-conscious.
I agree with that.
Don't be so self-conscious. Be a queen. Go through life as if everything you say is
Is word.
the word, is the law.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree with that.
And then to get that connection with people, because you can't be a queen all by yourself up in your Swedish castle, is focus on other people and you will get that connection that you want. It's a good feedback loop. It's balancing yin and yang.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true. I can see your point.
And then I have one third piece of advice
Yes.
which applies just to me. But
Okay.
I love to hear about advice you give to your younger self. And then
Okay.
we'll come back. We'll circle back to that.
Oh, you don't want to tell us what it is? Or are you gonna wait?
Let's save that
Let's
little.
save it.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
so mine, I also have three because I follow the rules of BuzzFeed. So what my first one is, the advice I would give my younger self is to pay attention to your health
Mm,
and wellness.
right.
So both physical health as well as mental health, emotional health. Pay attention to that when you're young. Don't think that you're not worthy of being a healthy person, because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the reason why people do unhealthy things is on some subconscious level they feel like they're not deserving or they're not worth it,
Absolutely.
right? So it's
Absolutely.
like
Yeah.
punishment for themselves,
Mm-hmm.
or who knows, maybe they just like to drink. I'm just giving people, yeah, there's probably that too.
There's that too. That's it. But I would
Yeah.
actually, if I
Yep.
may give my spin on it, I think things that we do to our body is some sort of disconnect from feelings and
What does that
bodies
mean?
and our body. So, so
Mm-hmm.
let me give you an example. Drinking, right? Some people drink to feel
Mm-hmm.
a certain way, right? But what happens is if it's too much for your body to handle, you'll
Mm-hmm.
suffer the physical effect. But you disconnect. You go, I don't care. Feeling good is so important to me.
Yeah.
Whatever. YOLO, consequences later.
Yeah.
And I think, eating, drinking, or just generally neglecting your health is kind of a disconnect from I'm willing to do this to feel a certain way and fuck my body.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happens to my body happens to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when you bring those two together, where you start like, okay, I do this. This is how I feel, but how does my body react when I do this? And when you bring them closer into alignment, you'll see your mental health and your physical health actually start to get on that same. The multiverse becomes the single verse,
Right.
Right.
Starts to sync up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, not to say that you should be exercising 5 times a day, 7 days a week, and eating like,
Yeah.
greens all day.
Right.
You can still enjoy your life,
Mhm.
right? But I think that you just be mindful of some of the things that that you're bringing into your life, whether that's food or whether that's people or, a different job or anything really.
And
Yeah,
back to the exercising, some people exercise really hard or over exercise because they want to feel a certain way too. They're
yeah,
trying to get away from feelings or just numb some part of themselves.
like
So
a
they,
drug.
yeah, exactly.
I
So
cannot even imagine
That's-
using exercise as a drug.
that is not my choice.
I'm exercising.
Exactly. Oh, all my problems are going away. Oh, feel the burn.
I do not
No,
understand
never.
those people.
I do not. But we know there are people like that, right?
Yeah, I know a lot of people like that.
So what happens again if you're over exercising or under eating or whatever it is that you're doing to
Mhm.
not have to deal with that feeling, and it becomes a problem?
Mhm.
That's just something to be aware.
Yeah, it's all interconnected, I think, in some way.
Give me just one thing you can tell a young person to do for your health. Like for me, what's the one thing you go, you should do this?
Floss. Just do it. Nobody wants to see that gunk in between your teeth.
That's it. Just floss.
Just floss. And that'll save you a lot. Do you know how close your gums are to your brain? The reason I bring that up is because if things happen to your teeth, your brain is like right there near your gums, and you can get an infection, and then you can get an infection in your brain. So just floss.
So just because of the proximity of your teeth,
It is the
to
proximity.
yeah. You know what?
Mhm.
Although it sounds stupid,
It's not
I
stupid.
have heard that.
It's scientific dental knowledge.
I actually have to back Golda up. I
Yes.
actually have heard that teeth health is like
Mhm.
strongly correlated. Like your teeth are like a mini world
It's another verse.
It's another
universe.
mouth verse.
It's a mouth verse. Wow, I love how we're connecting everything. We didn't even plan this.
Okay, all right. So
Anyway,
sorry. Go
so
ahead,
that's
continue,
that.
continue.
So health and wellness. The other thing I would say is, the second thing I would say is, don't be a drag.
Oh,
Don't be a drag. Don't be, Debbie Downer. Don't be the negative Nancy. Nobody wants
I
to be
don't
around that.
understand. What does this mean? I don't even get this right now. I can't even.
Are you sleepy or are you negative?
I think the same. Being negative makes me really.
You're like all sleepy. Yeah, all negative people are pretty sleepy.
They're all low energy.
Yeah.
Correlated.
It's the baggage, the bagage. Anyway, don't be a
Okay.
drag. People don't want to be around that.
Tell me more. What do you mean?
Like, if you say, "Oh, I just got a promotion,"
Mm-hmm.
and then your negative Nancy friend says, "Oh, that means you're gonna have more responsibility."
Ugh.
I mean, shut up. Nobody wants to hear that. What I want to hear is, "Ooh, that must mean because people like think you can do it," or, like keep it positive, keep the feather up.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's
Yeah.
run through a few scenarios, and then you be the negative Nancy, and then give me the positive Paula version.
Okay, so I'll do the negative Nancy first.
First.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, Golda.
Oh,
Hey, Golda. Guess what?
what?
I bought a new car.
Oh man, the payments must be really expensive.
Wah, wah. Okay,
Versus?
versus, hey, Golda, I just bought a new car.
That's fantastic. Now you can get to places in style and you look great in this new car. Something like that.
Okay, let me ask you. Although I much prefer.
I probably wouldn't be that positive when someone tells me they bought a new car.
Right. Okay. But okay, this is actually really relevant though. How do you make? Let's say you have a negative feeling inside and you're just a natural drag. How do you become positive without sounding like, "Oh, great, good for you," and making it sound fake? How do you do that?
Well, I think that you have to be mindful of how you sound. Avoid scrunching up the face. Because when you scrunch up the face, even when you're trying to be positive, that always non-verbally looks like you're being negative.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So I just would say be mindful of your physicalness, and then follow it with the tone of your voice. So notice my voice right now and how positive it sounds because it sounds like it's a song. And notice
lovely.
how when I end my sentences, I go up. I don't go down.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would recommend, that you end your sentences with a lilt.
Okay, keep that same voice. Hey, guess what? I got diagnosed with stage 4 lymphoma.
Oh, how wonderful that you can finally do things that you wanted to do with your life in a shorter period of time. Right?
Wow.
See?
Well, actually, you know what? I do feel
You
better.
feel better?
I feel better.
Good.
I do feel better.
That's the point.
Right. No, but to get real,
Yes.
this is I'm teasing you, but I back you up 100% about
Yes.
this don't be a drag thing.
Don't be a drag.
It's just a general approach to life, right?
Yes.
Like just saying, if we have a problem, let's find a solution. Let's not wallow in it and dwell in it, right? And we don't all feel great all
Yeah.
the time, right?
Yes.
Sometimes we're dragging ourselves down.
Yes, we're our own worst enemies many of the time.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, how can I self-motivate? How can I find things that make me feel good, that lift me up like a feather, like you said? What are things that give me energy? Who can I help today? What can I do so that you're not constantly being this sandbag of a person?
Are you asking me or are you saying it?
I'm backing you up. I'm backing you up. But yeah, okay, give me some tips to not be a sandbag of a person.
I think that you need to initiate. I think that's a good way to not be a sandbag and initiate something where people will come out of it with a positive feeling. Right? So one of the things that I think about is when people learn something new, they tend to come to the table with some apprehension, and then who knows, depending on what the activity is, it can actually be positive for them.
Absolutely.
So you're helping someone grow their skills, which I think is valuable. How about you? What do you think?
I think by having an open and curious mind. Okay, like let's say someone says, "Hey, I want to tell you about the multiverse." Okay, rather than shutting them down, which is what you really want to do, you just want to like close an iron gate down on the multiverse topic. Just go, multiverse, interesting. Tell me more. Right? This goes back to my number 2. Pay attention to the person. Open them up. Get curious about stuff. Don't judge. Okay, just keep neutral until it really then then the clothes. Then she's gonna start talking about clotheslines. It's like, okay, keep coming with the clothesline. I'm open. Tell me, just be open and be curious rather than nailing it down with your harsh judgment.
Thank you, Wanru. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I love to bookmark the new experiences thing because it's gonna come up when we talk about our commercial sponsors.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
And did you have that one last thing that you wanted to talk about? Like as far as your advice to your younger self? What was that last thing?
Exactly. So this is a little nugget that applies directly to me, but I think it's just something that I think could relate to a lot of young people, which is look cute. Okay? Just look cute. Or look good, or feel good about how you look. Because when I was younger, I just gave no, I don't know. I was
You
living
didn't pay
in this,
attention?
I didn't pay attention. I was in this idyllic little bubble.
Okay.
I just felt like I'm a good person. Doesn't matter what I look like. But
It matters.
it matters. Reality is harsh.
Nobody wants to look at you if you look
Mm-mm.
sloppy.
I know. It's just
That's
like,
hard to say, though, isn't it?
Oh, it's
That's
harsh.
not nice to say.
I wish.
There's some truth to it, though, right?
Yeah. And it doesn't mean you have to look perfect. It doesn't mean you have to look like a Instagram model or
Like Amal Clooney.
yeah, exactly.
She is impossible.
Oh my God.
Nobody looks like that. She's got like an international team
Yeah.
like next door to her bedroom
International
times.
team of what?
of like stylists
Oh, yeah.
and, you know, inventors of skin cream and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
The woman looks flawless every time I see her on the news
Absolutely. She's just covered in.
because she's in the news.
Yeah, exactly.
The
Exactly.
news meaning Entertainment Tonight
Right. Okay.
and E.
Amal is a perfect example because Amal is an accomplished attorney. She went to Oxford. She's got a freaking law degree. She's
Isn't that
got
amazing?
she's so smart. But you know what? Nobody gave a shit about that
Yeah.
until she showed up with her blowed out, dried hair, wearing a night, not a nightgown, an evening gown next to George Clooney. Then people perked up, right? Because the outside package was so appealing. They go, oh, who's that girl? Oh, she's exotic, interesting. Look at her, you know, interesting, ethnic background.
Yeah.
Who's she?
So why is it important to look cute?
So I have a photo of myself from when I was in college.
And we'll include it in the show notes that you can find later.
Exactly.
But if you're watching this video, we'll pop it up.
Exactly. It was me with a cute guy from my dorm. And, my classmate just snapped a picture of me and then she sent it to me. And I said, oh my God, what was I thinking? Here's this cute guy. I didn't realize how cute he was until.
He was a little cutie.
Yeah, he looked like Jason Priestley.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's
good
like
one.
a little mini Jason Priestley. And here I am. And I was wearing a big baggy t-shirt, cut off sweatpants. Okay, not just cut off sweatpants. And I had pulled my socks all the way up to my knees and I was wearing Birkenstocks. Or those Adidas sandals that everybody was wearing in the 90s. And my hair was standing up because I had not, it was just a mess. And I know this is the dorm, so it's supposed to be casual, but no one said like, hey, you're going to run into this Jason Priestley guy. Shape
Yeah.
up a little bit.
How's about wearing a blouse? Someone should have told you that.
How about wearing
How's
pants?
about some hosiery?
Hosiery. How about wearing your socks at a normal level and not taking clothes and then cutting them off and making other clothes of them?
And what's the benefit in looking cute? What are you trying to get out of it?
Good question. So 2 things. Number 1, you probably feel good. But number 2, people are superficial. So you don't have to have everyone like you, but it's a nice little entryway. People just treat you better, approach you better when you're not sloppy. Just about neat and tidiness and presenting yourself in a way that you feel attractive. And I think it radiates.
I did read this article about how when you are at the airport and you're at the gate and you're about to board, and let's say that you want to be upgraded, you want to upgrade your seat, and how the folks who are at the airline that are at the gate behind the desk right before you go in, if you ask them to be upgraded from, say, coach to business class or first class and there's room, a lot of times they will say yes to the people who look like they can afford it.
Right.
Versus if they wore the knee-high socks and the Birkenstock and some cutoff, they probably would say, we're sold out. But if you wear, nice clothing, if you carry
Right.
yourself, if you look like you just had a blowout,
Mm-hmm.
if you wear makeup or, have cologne, I don't
Yeah.
know, but that they were more willing to give you that
Mm-hmm.
seat. I mean, that's a superficial thing.
Absolutely. But we live in a superficial society, so why not make it work for you? And again, I'm not saying you have to be slutty or you have to show parts of your body that you don't want to, or for a man, you have to wear something so rigid and uncomfortable, but just upgrade a little bit. Just make it tidy, make it
Yeah.
neat,
Yeah.
just zhuzh yourself up,
Those little touches, I think, make a big difference. So you're not saying like for men, like they should like for a 30-year-old guy,
Yeah.
that they should be like
Wearing a 3-piece suit.
wearing
No.
a 3-piece suit,
Yeah.
carrying around, like a pipe or something.
A smoking jacket.
Yeah, or wear like a patch over one eye to, be a conversational piece. Not like
no.
that, right? Or for women, you shouldn't wear, head to toe Louis Vuitton, Gucci that says
Right.
Gucci on it, Gucci. That's the latest, by the way. In order to look like you put yourself together. It is not
Right.
about brands. It's not even about money. It's just about looking somewhat put together. Because you can look put together with, clothes from
TJ
Target
Maxx.
or
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Or anywhere else, or even the secondhand store. You can look really chic
Right.
from a secondhand store. Just pay attention. I think is what
Right.
you're saying, right?
Because here's the thing. Dogs, there's a bunch of different dogs, right? Like,
Yeah.
different shapes and sizes.
Sure, like
But-
spaniels and stuff.
Absolutely. Spaniels, Shepherds, Maltese. But haven't you noticed you always want to pet the dog that's cute?
Oh, what rude!
What? 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 Am I a bad person? Because I want to pet the good-looking dog?
Oh, rude!
What? You want to pet the
Getting
ugly
to know
one?
your friends. I like the ugly ones.
Okay,
I like the tripod dogs.
I'm not saying
Or
I'm
the
gonna-
one with the weird face.
Okay.
Did you see that one Instagram of that dog with a weird face? Now he's like an Instagram star.
Okay, I'm
So
not saying
cute.
I'm not gonna pet the dog. I pet every
Wow.
dog, but just naturally you gravitate to those dogs that are like cleaner. Okay, if a mud covered dog ran up to you and he had slobber dribbling out of his mouth,
Blah.
okay, Golda is willing.
That is my weak point. Are animals? I could care a little less for humans,
Okay, gotcha. All right, so that was
other than myself. But
you backed me up and look cute.
look cute.
Okay.
But I getcha.
Yeah,
For humans.
for humans.
But
For
dogs
humans.
can look like anything they want.
Yes, they absolutely can. Here's the thing. With dogs, the weirder they look, the more you kind of end up liking them. Yeah, like if they have an underbite and their eyes are slightly crossed and one eye is higher than the other, you end up loving them because they're so awkward looking. But if a person with an underbite and cross-eyed and one eye high came up to you,
Oh,
you'd be
different
very
story.
Unlikely to talk to
True
them.
that. I didn't
Very
even think about it that
unlikely.
way.
So that's my point, which
I
is
gotcha.
try to be the well-groomed Maltese to your comfort level. Don't be the dog covered in mud with the slobber. Just
Clean it up a
a
bit.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, clean it up. I gotcha. All right.
And what's your third point? I didn't hear about your third point.
My third point was to do stuff but be safe. Do stuff but be safe. Like, don't just do stuff so that when you're an old woman or an old man, you can look back and say, I remember those days.
Right.
And I, not robbed a bank. But whatever. But something fun that you can
Right.
go back to, and it's a fun memory and a joyful memory.
Mhm.
But be safe about it. Don't do anything stupid.
How about a small amount of risk? Would a small amount of risk be okay?
Yeah. Small amount of risk is good.
Because like whitewater rafting, super fun, kind of risky.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Inline skating.
I don't know if I'd be an old lady and think about, I remember when I used to do some inline skating. That was fun.
How about inline skating down an extremely steep hill?
Okay.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Just be open to new experiences and pushing yourself physically.
Yes. Yes. And one of the things also that when I say do stuff, one of the things I love to do is travel. And that is for a future episode.
Ooh.
But travel, see stuff, do stuff, but be safe.
Okay, so let's wrap up your 3 points. What were they again?
It is be good to yourself in health and wellness.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be a drag.
Okay.
And then do stuff and see stuff, but be safe. And yours
Awesome.
was?
No one cares about you in the way that you're worried about. People do care about you, meaning they love you, but no one cares about how stupid you might think you look. Number 2, care more about others than you do about yourself, meaning don't put your own health over others, but just give other people attention because people are dying for attention. And 3rd, look cute.
Love it.
Here is a segment of products we love. Someday this will come true. Dream sponsors.
So now we're going to talk about sponsors that really aren't our sponsors, but that are more like our dream sponsors, companies that we would love to sponsor us. And the reason we would love for them to sponsor us is because we actually really love the products or the services that they sell.
Absolutely.
So Wanru, what is your dream sponsor?
So my aspirational sponsor, which sort of ties in with what we were talking about with your advice, which is just try a bunch of stuff, but be safe, is Groupon.
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 I love Groupon.
Oh my God. It's great. Yeah. Why do you love Groupon?
Well, I think the number one reason is because it introduces me to activities and places that I probably wouldn't normally even consider or think about.
Totally.
I mean, who even thought at any one point in the past that they would drink wine and paint a landscape at the same time? Nobody.
No.
Until Groupon.
Nobody thought about doing that.
Nobody wanted to do
thought
that.
about it. And they're so smart because they kind of hook you in with your most basic human instinct, which is getting a deal, right? So they use that sort of instinct of yours, like, oh, gotta get a deal. And it forces you to do something out of the box, out of your comfort zone, which is genius.
What's been the most unusual thing you've been able to do on Groupon?
I can list 4,
Ooh.
which just happened in these past 3 months because my coworker was on a Groupon buying spree.
Wow.
Which I love. Again, it was like a flash deal, 20% off. And so we just went for it. We did a burlesque class.
Ooh, a burlesque class.
A burlesque class. Body confidence class. I did a tap class. I'm currently taking aerial, where you climb up on ropes and silks.
Ooh. Like Pink.
Yes, like Pink. Yes. Right, exactly.
What about us?
Maybe she's...
Anyway, that's
Absolutely.
not the song though. But
Yeah,
yeah, did
that's
you
her.
like it? Did you like the silk things?
I sucked at it, but I was safe.
See?
See? Fun. It was fun. It was fun. And I bet you Pink got started because of a Groupon too.
Probably. But she won't say it unless they give up the money because it's Pink. See how we're just doing it for free right now, Groupon?
Exactly.
This is what you want right here.
That's why I love Groupon is you try all these things because you're just trying to get a bargain, and then you actually become a more well-rounded person.
You know what would have been really cool is after you took the Groupon for tap,
Right?
like as soon as she finishes the class, I don't know how many sessions that was, like 5 or 6,
four
four
classes.
classes,
Mhm.
that after she did that Groupon tap, that you booked a musical. Wouldn't that be a good story?
Right? A musical where I have to tap, dance, and then hang
Yeah.
from aerial silks, and then paint something.
Like Singing in the Rain would be a good one to do
Be a
all
good
of those
example.
things.
All of those things. Perfect.
Get on it, Center Theater Group.
Okay, what about
that's yours? Okay, so mine is my fictitious sponsor that that I hope would sponsor us at some point, because I am 100% loving this company and the products that they provide the masses.
And I can support her because I've seen her use this product, like IRL in real life.
Yeah. Ooh, IRL. I
IRL.
thought that meant like RSS feed. I'm not technical.
What is RSS?
I don't see. I don't know. Yeah, you don't know either. I don't know what RSS is. Anywho's. So the company that I'd like to sponsor us at some point, because I am 100% a fan, is the company called Quest Nutrition. And they provide cookies and protein bars that are very low carb and high in protein and high in fiber. So they have these
I'm gonna
really
fact check Golder right
it's
now.
really good. I mean, like this one that I eat almost every day is a Quest protein cookie. I personally love the chocolate chip, in quotes, chocolate chip flavored cookie. 15 grams of protein, less than 1 gram of sugar, and 9 grams of fiber.
Wow.
That's a lot of fiber.
I'm fact checking her, and it's true.
It's true, right?
And it's gluten free. How is it gluten free?
I don't know. They
All
have
right.
like magicians making this. Anyway, so that is my dream. The other favorite of mine is the cookies and cream flavored protein bar, which is amazing. It only has 4 net carbs in that, 21 grams of protein. And what else?
So what turned you on to this? What turned you on to Quest?
Well, I recently, in the last 6 months or so, decided to go on a new way of eating called ketogenic. And basically it's a whole movement, but basically what it entails is no refined sugars, no starches and carbs, some carbs, but good carbs.
Can I take a little tasty taste?
Yes.
While we're doing this?
Yeah, go for it. You're opening up the chocolate chip flavored cookie.
But go on, tell us about your ketogenic.
Yeah, so essentially, and interestingly enough, the reason why I decided to go on the ketogenic diet was to just be better at and healthier. And just recently, I haven't told you this, Wanru, but just recently, last week, I went to my doctor and I had labs done.
What?
And they compared my labs to my labs from about 6 months ago. So you like it? So Wanru's eating the cookie right now. It's good, right?
It's got that chew like a typical chocolate chip cookie
Yeah,
would.
it's not like a hard cookie. It's a little chewy, so it's really yummy. So I went to the doctor last week and I had my labs done. And guess what?
What?
All of my bad labs, you know what I'm talking about. Like when you go to and get all this work done on your blood, and they test for so many like cholesterol and A1C.
That sounds like a bad lab. Bad boy. Bad lab.
Yeah, it was a bad lab last time, 6 months ago. It was a not so great lab. And this time around, I will say that a majority of the areas that I was historically high in, like my cholesterol and bad cholesterol and low and good cholesterol, all those things, you don't want that on your health report card. This time around, it vastly improved.
Amazing.
To the point where it's now in like a normal ranges or getting close to that. So definitely a big piece of it is for myself personally, what's helped me is to cut out sugar, to cut out refined foods and carbs, and eat more healthy food, really.
Amazing.
So Quest is part of that. I mean, I wouldn't eat like Quest nutrition like all day long, so I want to give that caveat, but it sure does help when you have, a craving for a cookie, but you don't want all of the bad stuff that comes with eating a regular cookie. So Quest nutrition.
Yeah. By the way, it's very interesting that you bring up Quest Nutrition because I actually listened to the founder of Quest's podcast.
Ooh.
His name is Tom Billieu. I hope I'm saying it right.
Oh.
So he would be an amazing sponsor to have. And he started Quest Nutrition. He used to do some tech job and he just found it soul sucking. And he's like, I'm making all this money, but there's no meaning to my life. And he got fired or laid off, or his company got sold. And he took a bunch of time just to get healthy. He lost 60 pounds. He eliminated his own metabolic issues surrounding eating excess sugar. And he decided to found a nutrition company with no experience at all.
Wow.
And him and his friends started Quest Nutrition, and they're like the number 2 fastest growing company in the United States currently.
No kidding. I didn't know that.
It's crazy.
It's not surprising. I think that they definitely have quality products. And it's I mean, I'm constantly ordering Quest bars and Quest cookies. So thank you for not being satisfied in your old job and wanting to open up this new one, because otherwise, woo, I don't know what I would be eating.
So happy that you hit rock bottom
And got laid off or fired.
Exactly.
Thank you, company that fired him.
Yes, thank you. You lost our game.
Yes. So thank you. So we have Quest, and then we have Groupon.
And now for the segment, which we call Girl, You Got To. It's just lifestyle recommendations or things that we're really excited about. So this week, I say, girl, you got to unsubscribe from all of your advertisement emails. You know which ones. The ones from the stores that you signed on to get 15% off online. That one time. And now every week, you're getting an ad for something. A flash sale, this or that, this promotion. Oh my God. Use your credits or your membership points. You don't really need that, because all it does is it makes you buy stuff. Or at least for me, I spend so much time searching for that next bargain. I was just talking about how Groupon does that. But it's for your own good, because you're actually doing something. If Kohl's or some other advertiser does it, they're doing it so you can buy something. So I would say if you unsubscribe from these online emails, I think nothing bad will happen to you.
Yeah, you're not missing out.
You're not missing out.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I signed up Pier 1 because I wanted to buy a pillow.
One pillow.
That
one
was
pillow?
like $20.
One pillow.
And they said, would you like to subscribe to our mailing list?
Yes.
If you do, you can get 10% off. I'm
Okay.
like, sure.
Okay, here I go. Here's my email and my personal information.
Here it is. And I bought that one pillow, and I have not bought anything else from Pier 1 Imports since then, but I get at least 2 or 3 emails a day.
A day. And think about the mental clutter of clearing out your inbox.
Yeah.
For that one pillow, you save $2.
I mean, I swipe left on my email to erase those emails.
It's a lot of
so many
energy.
times. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, people always ask, like you just asked me, Golda, how do you unsubscribe? It's built in the email. Look for it. They usually put it at the bottom. It's in the tiniest
Small.
little font. They sometimes change the font color too. They're really tricky. Try to make it
like
hard.
yellow, so you don't even see it.
Can't even see. You're squinting.
Or it's
But
like in red for those people who are colorblind. They won't be able to see that. Colorblind people can't see red. Did you know that?
That makes a lot of sense.
That's why it's hard when they drive. Because they're like, is that a stop sign?
Mm-hmm.
Or is that like a glitchy light?
Absolutely. But just get someone who has normal color vision, help you out, unsubscribe from all your emails, Pure One, Kohl's, whatever. You'll never miss it.
Yeah, get it out of there.
Okay, girl, what's your girl you got to?
My girl you got to is you got to book stuff ahead of time. And what I mean by that is I had a friend of mine tell me that she decided to buy one of those planners for the year. And she decided to book every single one of her dental appointments for the year.
Wow.
And just book it so that it's done and you don't think about it. And then she booked all of her dog's grooming appointments for the year. So it's done. Don't even have to think about it. Right. And she, booked a lot of the things that you would normally do. She also started to book her time with her friends.
Aww.
So time was starting to tick away and she wasn't seeing her friends for long periods of time. And so she decided at least once a quarter, she would see, the same group of friends. And so she booked those dates. She locked it in ahead of time. So you're not, before you know it, 4, 5, 6 months go down the road and you don't see your friend anymore and you don't know what's going on. And at least this way, it's in the books and you can always change it, but it's nice to know that you have it. It's in the book. So my girl you got to is, girl, you got to book this stuff early. Book it ahead.
It makes sense because you always say to that person that you want to hang out with,
we should hang
Oh.
What's been going on?
Oh, it's been ages. We never
It's been
talked.
forever.
Why? But you don't have to do that because you're like, March
All our friends
16th.
sound like that one room.
when we greet each other.
We need new friends. Except each other.
Except each other.
Yeah.
But yes, it'll be in the calendar. Oh, taking my dog in to get his grooming.
Yes.
Brunch right afterwards. Car maintenance.
Yeah.
It's all in there.
Just do it. Just do it to make it easy for yourself.
Right.
You know?
And actually, her friend had a great technique, a more advanced technique, where she piggybacks on the booking, right? So she's like, I know my dog has to get groomed this many number of times. What should I do? I'll go to the Trader Joe's because the Trader Joe's parking's a bitch. And her dog's a bitch too, by the way. I think it's a girl dog. And so
connects.
she goes, I will go to that Trader Joe's because this is right next to the grooming place. Parking's taken care of. I'll do my shopping. I'll come back. My dog looks great.
And then you got your bag of lemons.
Exactly.
And your pumpkin spice latte muffin mix.
That's very good. That's delicious.
You need to just pair things up together and then you're good to go. So my girl you got to is book your stuff ahead of time and even couple it with something else if you can. Advanced technique.
That's great. Thanks so much for sharing that.
And that's it for our show, Advice to Our Younger Self. Remember to, what do you remember? What are you going to take away?
What I think I'm going to take away from today is that we're all just clotheslines. Okay? We're all many clotheslines just hanging in
All
millions.
right,
Wait,
all
no. I have a good take on this. We're all clotheslines, all right? But you know how clotheslines are separated. There's distance. But remember, the connection to your fellow human being is like a wet towel that just drapes across all the clotheslines. So when you feel alone, go, no, I got that wet sheet or wet towel or that long tube sock, which I don't recommend you wear pulled up to your knees.
With Birkenstocks.
With Birkenstocks. But imagine that long tube sock, which connects all of us. So we're our own line, but we're always connected as well.
That's really profound, Ronru.
Thank you.
I'd have to say the thing that I learned was from you, I think that my takeaway is that people just don't care about you. People just don't care. That's what I learned from Wanru.
Exactly. People don't care.
Oh, and then the other thing that I'm actually going to do something about this after this is your tip about look cute.
Look cute.
Look cute.
So that's it.
I mean, this is no accident. I didn't just wake up and say, I think I'm going to wear this. This was weeks of careful preparation.
And can I say, I do think you look cute.
Thank you. And for those of you who want to know what we look like and that are just listening to the podcast only, go on our YouTube page and you'll see what we mean, or go to our show notes and you'll see what we mean. Mm-hmm. You will not be disappointed. Cuteness overload.
So thank you so much for listening to this podcast today. If you enjoyed it, feel free to share it with a friend.
Yes, or review us on iTunes. We always love to get reviewed. Thank you for doing that.
And if you want to see us eat a Quest cookie on camera, go to our YouTube page.
Yep. So until next time, I'm Golda.
And I'm Wanru.
We'll see you next time.